Hello everyone. Today we're meeting another video. And in today's video, we are going to be delivering 5 lovely people from the backcountry in this grass field off to Oshkosh in Wisconsin. So today's flight, we're just taking a couple passengers, a little bit of cargo, and just starting on over. So it's going to get our checklist all set and done and make sure that we're ready to take off. Go over to our top panel checklist. Take off check. Run through this again. Doors. Minimize anything else we don't need. Doors we're going to make sure are closed. Closed. Elevator trim. As required. Mixture level. Full reg. Propeller. Increase RPM. Flaps are set to takeoff. Directional gyro and artificial horizon are both set and uncaged. And for cold weather, we don't need any icing right now, but we are going to keep the pitot heat on just in case we experience any kind of moisture or dew buildup. And our carburetor is heat. Just going to double check. I want to see where that is. Yeah, let's make sure it's set to cold. Yep, carb heat set to cold. Get full power for takeoff. Takeoff, cylinder heat. We'll be checking those. Runway, we can be aligned. Throttle, of course, max full. Takeoff 55-65, so we're going to be aiming for 60 knots of indicated airspeed. Climb power obviously set, airspeed, and then 80 once we're in the air and ready to gain to our cruise altitude of 3,000 feet, and our flaps will be set to climb. After that, we'll be just raising our flaps even more and setting to a cruise power. So, alright, let's get her going. We got our co-pilot here, Jimmy John, and our invisible ghost passengers. So, alright. Just gonna make sure we have everything loaded up in our GPS. It looks like we do. So, I'm also gonna quickly check our VOR navigation on SkyVector. If you want to, I can quickly change this over. So, alright, I believe you guys can now see this. So I think we are at 10 WI. Gonna make sure one of these. Basically, what we're gonna be doing is going to be tuning into the 085 radial and flying a. Well, actually, I'd take that back. Let me do some quick maths here, because I know it's gonna be, well, actually just 5 degrees off of 90, so 5 more than 27, so 265. So 265 radial. So, and that's going to be on Green Bay, Strobel, Green Bay. Okay, 115.5. So I'll get you guys all set up back to flight sim. 115.5 for our navigation. 115. Change it over. I want to say we could use our GPS today, but I just want to, try doing a VOR route. So we're going to do that today. So VLOC. Eventually, once we're up in the air, our VOR here will be lit up and pointing us to a 2 route to the 265th. So we're going to set that right now. $270. Bam. There we go. 265. Perfect. Alright, since we did our takeoff check, and we're just going to make sure our oil temps are all up to spec. It's going to run a little bit of power. Get everything nice and toasty. Alright. I'm going to make this guy a little small, just, increase the immersion for the rest of you guys watching on a big screen. Just set our GPS map to track. I believe we should be good to go to take off. Right. Fuel set to center. Imitating your front tank. There we go. And take off power. passing 80 knots of indicated airspeed, rotate.
Pilot, have a nice flight.
Reduce power. Keep prop pitch up. Reducing mix. Keeping mix up. Alright, here we go. Landing lights come off, make a double check of our navigation lights. Strobe lights are on, instrument lights on, beacon lights are on, nav lights on, cabin lights on, P.E is on. There we go, we're good to go for our flight. Ooh, bugger. Alright, so you can already see where we have our radial set up, so technically it doesn't know where we're facing, so we're just gonna fly ourselves due south. Set ourselves to a nice medium cruise. Get ourselves ready to climb a little ways up. We're almost at 2,000 feet already, so we're healthy on our way to, there we go, climb and then cruise. So right now we can already turn our, okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna make sure our map light is off because that one's usually the most disorienting one. Really beautiful day out today. It's just a nice crisp morning in the early spring. Makes flying the airplane a lot easier. It's a cold crisp air in the morning. So, alright, we're gonna get ourselves aligned with that radial in a little bit. Let's continue our climb up to 3,000 feet, and I want to say we may have to cut down climb altitude because of these clouds. I looked through the briefing. It looked like they were going to be a little bit shorter, but might have been mistaken. So we're going to tune into KSTE AWOS. AWOS 3 feet 128.325. Actually, I'm curious. I want to see if we can tune into Green Bay's ATIS 124.1. Maybe very staticky, but that's okay.
Green Bay Airport information, Golf 1200 Zulu. Wind 275 at 5. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, 1,800 feet scattered, 4,100 feet scattered, 17,600 feet scattered. Temperature, 15. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 29er, decimal 9er 2. Visual runway 24 in use. Landing and departing runway 36. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Golf.
Golf. Alright, sounds good. So surprisingly that actually worked pretty good, and just because the weather is pretty similar throughout the entire region of the day, I'm not going to try to get too specific. I just want to double check that because, you know, I want to make sure we're up to date on all the weather that's happening around us. Normally I'd say we try to chop through this, but because we are following VFR rules, we're going to try to stay clear of clouds today. And since we already are about 1,200 feet, we're already in Class E airspace. Make sure we keep it clean, keep it smooth. Alright, we're going to level out a little bit, about 100 feet above our original. Designated climb. So we're just gonna be waving through the clouds a little bit, making sure we can keep our visual on everything around us. So yeah, I'm gonna set up everything later, or get everything ready for our approach to Green Bay. Common traffic or control tower for them is 118.7, so we're gonna program that in already. Done on standby. We're almost flying on that radial already, so we're already at the altitude we want it to be at. I could say we can just keep it clean. So I just kind of want to slowly turn into that radial, because you can already see we're only just a couple degrees off. I believe, like, was it 5 degrees off? So we'll eventually be heading straight to Green Bay, because on the I believe it's I want to say Green Bay. Yep, the Green Bay VFR sectional. It does mention, you know, the 085 or, you know, the 265 radial. Gets you the direct route to the VOR. That's just northwest of the airfield. So by the time we get over there, we'll be in the airspace that's for us, and then we can get directed into the proper runway for us. So we'll just bring up our little iPad here, let you guys see what we're dealing with today. I have a brand new little piece of software, which I think I might have used in the last video, but it's been a little bit, so just to make sure, you know, I can get you guys all up to date on that. It's about time to turn in due west. Keep a little bit, still a couple degrees off, you know, so we can follow that VOR. Challenging call, but we're just gonna take a little bit to the right. I don't want to head anyone into that cloud. There could be an accident waiting to happen right there. I know there's not a lot of traffic out today, but there could be traffic. Anything from general aviation to another, you know, low flying, you know, propeller aircraft like ours. Okay, we can get ready to start turning back in. I can just come over to our little GPS, make sure everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, we're pointing in the general direction of that, so come over here. Yeah, there we go. Toggling through some of these different map layers. Most of them are kind of useless to me, but I like the satellite one the most. Flight route KGRB, correct. Just want to get the... Come on. There we go. I'm looking for airspaces. There we go. See, 19,000 feet to 47,000 feet, so we're going to be at 3,200, so we're going to be in the outer donut ring of that class Charlie. Just double check actually. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, class Charlie. $19.47. Okay. Oh bugger. Alright, got some more weather coming up, so we're veer off a little bit. Keep ourselves clear of clouds. Safety is our #1 priority. This aircraft still technically is not in our ownership. It is merely being lent to us by a generous renter. We're making bank while using it, but it's not ours to keep. I'd love it if we could keep it, but simply not an opportunity we have. Just double check our fuel as we're cruising along. So, yeah, there we go. Front tank still full, middle tank is almost empty. I think it might honestly just be empty. The rear tank fully empty. So just running a frontal fuel tank load, mostly because we have so many passengers in the back. We want to make sure our center of gravity is, you know, the current envelope that we need to have it at. So you know, we can check our compass deviation and see, you know, if we're actually flying on the correct, you know, compass heading. So for west, steer for 269. So a really small deviation there, so 269, 270, 1 degree deviation. So, because you can see other things like, let's say, you know, for 240, you know, it's going to be a little bit different. So, it looks like west isn't going to be too much of an issue for us. And the nice thing about Wisconsin, in general, it kind of lies in that 0 degree offset of magnetic deviation in the first place for the global deviation. I'd pull up a chart if I could, but it's kind of a little tricky to find it. But if you've taken any flight classes of any kind, you might recognize that kind of ordeal. So, yeah. At this point of the video, I think I may set up a little time lapse if I can figure out how to do that, and just speed it up, but let you guys watch what's going on. So I'm gonna get everything ready for our little cruise here. Just, you know, keep on autopiloting ourselves. You know, clear clouds, and just you guys enjoy the flight from here on out. Green Bay Tower. This is de Havilland, November 471, Papa Mike type, de Havilland DHC2. Beaver is 10 miles northeast of the airport, with Golf to land, full stop.
Green Bay Tower de Havilland, November 471, Papa Mike is 13 miles east, 3,200 feet with hotel to land.
De Havilland, November
Okay,
471, Papa Mike, Green Bay Tower. Altimeter 29.9, 2 wind 274 at 5. Make straight in runway 24.
24, okay. Make straight runway 24 de Havilland DHC2.
Make straight in runway 24 de Havilland 1 Papa Mike.
Okay, just gonna double check our route in here. I believe that's what I thought. Yeah, runway 24 is on top of there. So make straight in approach. So you don't have to do anything with pattern work. Just straight in for final approach. I would so love if we had like an Airbus dinger for the turn those seatbelts on in the back, but don't have that luxury here today. So it's gonna hopefully assume that our ghost passengers are all buckled up and ready for this landing. Get a little high now. It's okay. Bring back the power. Just descend a little bit. Aiming for the touchdown point. That's the goal. It's always better to be a little high than to be a little low. So we still have time to perfectly smooth things out. Perfect. We're on the bud slope again. A little fast, so we're gonna bring back our power. A little high again, that's okay. You can just slowly float on down. Gotta make sure we're gonna stay on center line here. There we go. Alright, this should be pretty good. I'm looking pretty well set up right now. I'll do my best to get a smooth landing here. I may overshoot the landing. point a little bit.
That wasn't the softest landing I've seen. Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
De Havilland 1 Papa Mike exit runway when able.
A little bumpy landing, but nothing that hurt anyone today. Hit the tail draggers, so we really can't expect for all of our landings to be butter, so. Okay. We're gonna get our ground code here, or ground frequency in a moment. Yeah, taxiway to taxiway Alpha. Make our sweet way over there.
De Havilland 1 Papa Mike turn next taxiway.
Roger, de Havilland, 1
De
Papa Mike.
Havilland 1 Papa Mike contact ground on 121.9er.
Contact ground on 121.9er. Goodbye.
121.9er de Havilland 1 Papa Mike. Goodbye.
Alright, we're all tuned to 121. And now we're just gonna get a hold of ground. Get us to the parking. Alright. Okay. De Havilland November 471, Papa Mike. Request taxi to parking.
Green Bay ground de Havilland November 471 Papa Mike taxi to parking.
De Havilland November 471 Papa Mike taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha Bravo.
Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha Bravo.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Bravo de Havilland 1 Papa Mike.
We're gonna get better at that. We're gonna get better at that. Alright, bring the power back on a little bit. Just taxi on over to our taxi spot. And then we'll be able to unload these passengers and be on our merry way. Overall, pretty smooth flight, I think. You know, we could have had a little bit better of a landing. Next time we're going to try to do a full flaps landing, see what that can bring us. Not the full emergency flaps, but just a full landing configuration, so might have been my bad on my part of the side of being a pilot here, so we're going to try that next time. I'll fast forward here, you know, just pass a taxi here, because nothing too interesting is going to happen here. I've always liked the layout of this airport. It's a really neat kind of a cross-sectional kind of runway thing. Appleton is my favorite because that's just a perfect, you know, X marks the spot. Oshkosh is kind of neat too, where they have multiple runways, where they have one up and down, side to side, and a couple diagonals running together, almost kind of like a traditional like military style from like the 1940s, where it has a triangular layout. So. We're going to try to get another mission to Oshkosh again, because I'd like to show you guys the brand new mod I got for them, or got for the airport, that gives you the, what's it called? EA Oshkosh layout. I mean, I personally am not going to be trying to land on the dots, but I'll let you guys, you know, take a look as we do a flyby for a pattern work in there. Alright. I think by now we could turn our landing lights off. Yeah. They're technically our taxi lights too, but it's bright enough to the point we really don't need them at this time now. Come on. Come on, sweet bird. Move along. Man, it is hard to see out of this aircraft sometimes. I'm gonna put it on hold first and just kinda, what is it? Left front. Just wanna see out the door. We'll just pretend it's open. There we go. Okay, so we are all parked. We've got our parking brakes set back to on, and now we can just do a full shutdown procedure. So we'll just do the actual checklist one. Stopping the engine. Alright, parking brake set to on. Car brake set to cold. Engine settings set to idle. Throttle 1000 RPM. Decrease RPM. Mix. Cut off.
Okay, pilot. The guests are leaving the aircraft now.
Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Or, alright, how we change this. As you can see, we have reached a new rank. We have Simulation Express, Advertising Sensitive, Secret Passenger, and Parachutist. So, hopefully you guys can see these new missions in the upcoming videos I make here sometime soon. And keep an eye out. I have some new recording gear, and there's going to be a whole bunch of new outdoor videos coming really soon in the future, so keep an eye out for those. I'm really excited for
Transporter from dispatch. Everyone is on the bus. Check that they haven't forgotten anything. Have a nice day.
Looks like everything. Okay.
Let's get out of here.
Tackle that. Alright. Got everything good. All switches off. So pretty simple shutdown procedure. So we're just gonna make sure everything's off. Setter off, P-dot heat off, cabin heat off, nav light off, beacon light off, landing light off, strobe heat off, insert light off. Parking brake is set. Carb off, wobble pump set to off. Fuel disconnect is set to closed. Oil good, and nav radios are set to off. Masters are set to off, and now we can take off our headset. Okay, get rid of all this stuff. We can open our doors now. Get the aircraft ready for this general parking. So P-top cover on, yoke belt on, rudder lock is on. We won't need the cold cover. Put the chocks on, put the tie downs on. Yep, everything looks good as is. We'll take a little look on the outside. Look at that. It's a lively place. Look at that. There's a van taking our passengers away back to the terminal. Here's a lovely bird once more. Really fun to fly. Not always the smoothest on landings, but you know, it's a bush airplane. It was never, you know, really intended for the buttery landings. It's meant to get you up, get you back down. Alright, I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys again sometime soon. Bye-bye.